If you'd like to know about NLP anchoring, then in this video I'm going to show you how to do NLP anchoring. Hi there, Laura Evans here from Unleash Your Potential, helping people like you to unleash their potential in business and life. And if this is your first time here on our YouTube channel, please be sure to make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you are notified when we upload a new video every Friday. Would you like to have more control over your emotional state? How would it be if you could step out of those icky, horrible states like irritation and frustration and in an instant help yourself get into a more resourceful state? In this video, I'm going to show you how to better master your emotions so that you can step away from the stress and you can be in charge of how you feel in an instant and you can master your emotions. So I'm going to guide you through the process of anchoring. And before we start, the first thing we need to do is decide on what positive, resourceful state you would like to be able to recall in the future. So this could be emotional states like excitement, joy, motivation, determination, courage, confidence. Any kind of positive emotional state works really well. I'm really curious. Drop a comment below and let me know what emotion are you going to pick for this exercise, because we're going to do it together here live. Now, in order for anchoring to be effective, what we use is recalled memories, or otherwise known as recalled states. So what I now need you to do is, once you've decided on the emotional state that you want to anchor, you need to sit and skip back through your memory bank to find a memory that has lots of that emotion. Now, for anchoring to be its most effective, then what we need is a specific memory from the past that has lots of that emotion. Some people struggle with anchoring because they pick a specific memory that's got a real cocktail of emotions. And the truth is, it's unlikely you're going to find a memory with just one pure emotion, but we want one with lots of that emotion. Let me give an example. When I went and got on the plane to go and become an NLP trainer, I was lucky enough to train in Thailand. And even now, I can remember, if I close my eyes, marching down that tunnel to get on that plane. I was so excited that the day was finally here. I was going left as you go in the plane entrance for the very first time in my life, and I was in business class, and I was so excited to get on the plane, so excited to finally be getting to do the thing I want to do. Now, was I feeling a little bit of other emotions at that time? I'm sure I was. But actually, the overriding feeling in that moment was excitement. So if I wanted to anchor excitement, I'd use that memory. Number one, your first job is to A, find and decide what emotion you'd like to anchor, and B, skip back through your memory bank until you find the best time you can ever remember. And when you have got a memory from the past, just push yourself to think, can I think of an even better memory that's got that emotion? Okay, so pause the video if you haven't yet done that, and then we're going to carry on. Okay, so before we do the next phase, which is going to be exciting because this is the actual anchoring process, please make sure that you're in a space where you're not going to be disturbed. So shut the door, get the dog out, make sure someone's covering the front door in case there's a parcel delivery, because this is your time. So let's set you up for success. So assuming you've done that, this is what we're going to do. I want you to get nice and comfy in your seat. If you're on a chair with a back, just you can do that. Or if you're lying on the bed or wherever you are, that's absolutely fine as long as you're perfectly safe. Of course, if it's not safe to do this now, please stop the video and come back. But assuming that you're in a great place, then we're going to go right ahead now and we're going to do this process. So before I start, just to remember, pick your emotion and you picked your memory. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'd like you to close your eyes. Now, I'd like you to remember that time, that specific time when you were really feeling that emotion that you have selected. And as you take yourself back to that time now, go right back. Float down inside your body and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and really feel those feelings of being whatever feeling it is that you have selected. And then when you've done that, you can open your eyes. Again, we didn't anchor anything that time. That was just me getting you used to the process, and that's what we're going to be doing. Now, hopefully what you noticed is as you went back to that memory, did you notice that that feeling got more intense the more you got into that memory? I hope you noticed that. And if you didn't, pick a different memory and do that bit again. Now, what we're after with anchoring is we're after setting up a trigger, okay? So neurologically, what we want to be doing is getting you into that intense emotional state, so intensely excited or really, really calm or whatever emotion you've picked. And when you get to the peak of that, when you feel the most amount of that emotion, what I want you to do is get your index finger and just tap the top of your thumb. So you see just here, I'm just touching my knuckle. And as soon as you start to really feel it build, I want you to touch the top of your knuckle. And as soon as you start to feel it decline, take your knuckle off. Now, state is like a bell curve. So different people experience the peak of that emotion at different times. Some people go into it really quickly, others take a little bit longer. And there is no right or wrong. What there is how you do what you do. So if you're someone that takes a little bit longer, just allow that to happen. If you go into state really quickly, which I do, then as soon as you shut your eyes and you're back there and you're feeling that emotion, then I want you to touch the top of that knuckle. Hold it while you feel the intensity of that feeling, whatever it is. And as soon as it starts to subside, just take your finger off and open your eyes. And that way we're getting the peak of that state rather than the little bits either side, if you remember what a bell curve looks like. So this time what we're going to do is exactly the same process, but this time before you start, I just want to get yourself ready so that you have this maybe on a table or on your lap, your fist like this, and then get your index finger of the other one ready to do that, okay? So you're just going to have it so that you can just touch it when you're ready. Okay, and that's what I want you to do this time. So let's go again. And this time we're actually going to set up the trigger, okay, which is really exciting. Okay, so you're ready. Let's do it again then. So close your eyes. Can you remember a time, a specific time, when you really felt a lot of that emotion? And as you go back to that time now, go right back, look down inside your body, and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and really feel those feelings of that emotion that you've picked. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So did you remember to do the trigger? Did you remember as soon as you felt it to press the knuckle, and as soon as it subsides to take it off? Did you remember to do that? Well, don't worry if you didn't, because we're going to do it again. And this is going to be third time lucky if you didn't quite get it right before. And we're going to do that. Remember, if you can, think of the time and memory when you did this the best that you possibly can. So we don't want little bits of excitement if you're anchoring excitement. We want lots of excitement in those memories. And it's a specific memory. So literally skip back through your memory bank and pick the best one that you can. Okay, are you ready? So close your eyes. Can you remember a time, a specific time, when you really felt that emotion? And as you go back to that time now, go right back. Float down inside your body and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and really feel those feelings of that emotion. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So did you remember? Did you remember to touch the knuckle as you felt the state, as you went back to the memory? And did you remember to take your finger off? Now, you can replay this video as many times as you like, because the more times you, what we call stack the anchor, i.e. the more times you put that feeling on top of one another, the stronger it gets. Okay, now I would encourage you at this stage of your learning to do what we call a stack of anchors, and that is the same anchor multiple times. You have done this, I'd say maybe replay the video a few times, maybe do that process 5 or 6 times. When you're ready, we're then going to proceed to test the anchor. How do we test the anchor? Well, this is what you're going to do. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again. And when you do, you're going to think and say absolutely nothing. But I just want you to press that knuckle and hold it with the same level of pressure as when you anchored it. And just notice how that feeling arrives. And as soon as it does, take your finger off. And that is your anchor set. Now, the more you stack that anchor, the more intense it's going to be and the more useful it's going to be in the future. So let's just recap on the 5 steps to effective anchoring. Number 1, picking the right memory with a big lot of intensity of that specific emotion on it. The better the memory, the better the anchoring is going to be. So let's make sure that you pick a memory with lots of intensity to that memory. Key number 2 is timing, making sure that you press that knuckle as soon as you feel that emotion really starting to rise and take it off when it subsides. Remember, we want the big bit of intensity of emotion in the middle, not the little bits either side as it's starting to build momentum and as it's disappearing and tailoring off. We want the bit in the middle. So timing is absolutely key. The third key to successful anchoring is uniqueness. It needs to be a trigger which you can replicate time after time again, which is actually the 4th key, replication. But let's stick with uniqueness. So a lot of people anchor with finger and thumb, for example, when they're on their own or working with a client. The problem is, we touch each other's hands quite a lot. The knuckle is actually really quite unique and therefore it's easy to use and it isn't going to get abused. The more that you use an area of your hand, the more desensitized that anchor is going to become. Remember, we're neurologically attaching a really nice intense emotion to a trigger, in this example, your knuckle. So please make sure that it's unique, and that's one of the reasons that we use the knuckle. And the final key is then about the number of times you do it. As I said, the more you stack it, the more effective and intense this state is going to be so that you can use it in the future. I hope that was really useful. Please do let me know in the comments, what emotion did you pick and how did you get on with that process? I'd absolutely love to know. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll be sure to check the comments and make sure I come back to you to give you any other hints and tips I can give you to help you get really good at managing your emotional state. If this was your first time here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified every Friday when we release a new video.